day today is be the right answer. Thought of the day, be the right answer. So I remember as a kid, growing up near my family, my dad used to take us to church, and on the church wall was a quote that we used to look at every Sunday. And I remember that the pastor used to conclude the service reading the quote, right? And the quote that stood above the church door was, if every member of this church was a member like me, what kind of church would this church be? I am my answer. And as a kid, just like a lot of kids, I was curious, and I always remember reading a quote, and I remember the pastor always saying that quote, to end the service, but I never, just like, anybody, most people, I didn't understand what that meant. Like, what does that mean? If every member of this church was a member like me, what kind of church would I be? I am my answer. And so, I stored it, just like, there's a lot of us do in life, we come across quotes, people, inspiration, videos, things like that, we store it, and then, when the time is right, we process it. And so, life goes on, I get older, I'm hanging in the streets, church is in the background. I'm out here living a life, but because of the church values, I try to do, if it makes sense, things that were morally right, in the process of my street living. And so I go to prison, and I'm doing an extended sentence, and just like a lot of us, man, we spend a lot of time in these jail cells. We meditate, we reflect, we thinking about our release date. If we don't have one, we praying and hoping for one. But in the midst of thinking, I thought about that quote, just like a lot of other things in life. And, when I reflected on that quote, I came to this conclusion, which to me made a lot of sense. And I apply it here to Homeboys, because, especially being in an environment like Homeboys, we are like a church, we are like a family, right? We're a community. And so when I think of if every member of Homeboys, or if every Homeboy was a member or a homeboy like me, what type of place would this place be? And so I think of, for a lot of us, it's important that we are modeling and mirroring, the positivity that we hope to see. There's quotes, and, we hear people say things such as, be the change you want to see in the world, right? And so in a world where life is hard, right? Like, life is hard. Some people make it look easier than others, but life is hard, and people are fighting, battles and struggles that we can't see, right? All we can do is keep them lifted in prayer. And I think the hope is that in a place like Homeboys, that we're modeling the positivity, we're modeling the change, that we're being that homie and homegirl that we want for ourselves, right? Which is positivity and change. The hardest part for a lot of folks is coming through the doors, especially, thinking of, a lot of the things that, folks have to say. Like, people will condemn you, people will demonize you for wanting to change your life, especially coming from the hood, right? Because you're supposed to be, I know in my neighborhood it was the saying, can't stop, won't stop, right? But it's important to realize that, man, we were brought and born into this world with purpose, a real purpose, not to die in these streets. So with that being said, I just want to encourage everybody to model, be the homie, the homegirl that you would like to see, that you need in your life. And so with that quote, if every member, or I'll use, like I said, I'll apply it to homeboys, if every homeboy, every homegirl was a homie like me, what type of church would this church be? Just make sure to look at yourself and make sure that you're modeling what you hope to envision for here at Homeboys in your community, and also in the greater sense in the world. Thank you.
That's right.